For some, their hauntings from the past still haunt them today.
This thing was definitely after me.
It was just like, boom, instant terror. It was terrifying.
It was one of the most terrifying nights. I need you to stop!
My name is Max, and this is my story. I grew up in a very small town. It's very safe. I was a pretty energetic and outgoing child. I like to spend a lot of time in my backyard with my family. Growing up, my dad and I were pretty close.
Max was, I would say, generally happy, but just a normal child. Good kid. Very easygoing kid.
I should do it. Want to get some water?
Yeah, I'll be in a second.
Okay.
But something in the house makes Max feel uneasy.
My house always had this weird, negative, dark energy over it, but I didn't start really realizing what was really going on until I was a bit older. I had this little wolf stuffed animal. Brought me a lot of comfort. I brought it everywhere. Made me feel safe. Made me feel less afraid of the dark.
Always had it with him, always. I think he got the feeling that it was kind of like a protection for him, that wolves are supposed to be big bad animals and they will protect you.
Soon the negative energy Max feels comes to life.
One night, I was fast asleep in my bed. I woke up. I could hear scratchy noises on the walls. Suddenly I saw shadows. These shadows were human-sized, hooded figures. I couldn't imagine it getting any worse.
But it does.
The shadows appeared to be in full form. They had a very dark energy, red eyes.
What do you want? Don't hurt me!
My heart was racing. I didn't know what to do. It just felt like it didn't want to go, like it wanted to stay here and hurt me. And then I just left.
I woke up and Max was standing at the end of our bed.
I went to tell my parents.
There's something in my room.
And he'd be like,
Max, it's just your imagination.
there's nothing in your room, go back to bed.
They wouldn't believe me. I felt alone. I felt terrified because no one else could see what I was seeing.
Just get some sleep, buddy, okay?
I hated sleeping in my bedroom. I'd usually try to sleep in my parents' room.
It's important to listen to children who have been having a paranormal experience because it's usually coming from a real place, whether even if it sounds like an imaginary situation, the root of it tends to be something valid.
Being a parent, you're supposed to tell your child, this isn't real, it's just your imagination.
My dad was seeing shadows too, but he didn't tell me until later.
Warren brushes off his experiences with the shadows. But for his own son, that isn't so easy.
I wanted to make him feel safe.
Max is fearful of the night and what might be lurking in the darkness.
I felt like something bad was going to happen to me. One night, I was going up the stairs to go to bed. I had this weird negative feeling, and I kept hearing whispering around me. And I heard a lot of footsteps upstairs. And then I heard this very loud scream, sound like a girl screaming. It sounded like the scream was like ringing throughout the entire house. It was just coming from everywhere, and it was just blaring in my ears. I didn't think it could get any worse until I saw her. She had long black hair past her shoulders covering her face. She had this white nightgown that was kind of dirty and stained. The feeling I was getting from this girl was she was very negative and a very evil, scary feeling coming from her. My heart started racing. I felt like my life was in danger. I had to get out of there. I had to get away from that situation. And I ran back downstairs to tell my parents, but they said they didn't hear anything. I felt frustrated, and I felt very alone and very isolated. The stuffed wolf definitely was kind of a friend to me when no one else was there for me.
Max can't escape from this terror.
I saw shadows all throughout the house, but I was most afraid of the girl. It was just getting worse. She was appearing more frequently. I felt her presence even stronger in the house.
Nothing could prepare Max for what happens next.
I was home alone, and I was getting ready to go to school. But on my way down the stairs, I just felt something was watching me. I just had a sense of just fear and dread. And just suddenly, I felt two hands on my back push me. It definitely scared me. I could have even died. I definitely knew the girl did that. She was upset with me. I don't know why, but she was definitely like out to get me. I didn't feel safe at all in my home.
When a spirit pushes you, it'll initially feel, threatening or scary, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going on. It's because it wants your attention. It wants you to see it. It wants to tell you something.
I never told my parents about that. I wish I was able to talk about it with my family and friends. At the height of these experiences, I definitely became more withdrawn. I was just feeling scared and alone and isolated from everyone else.
It was very hard. It almost breaks your heart.
After being physically attacked, I was terrified that it was only going to get worse. But I was most afraid of the girl reappearing.
Max's worst fears come true.
One night, I was fast asleep. I woke up about 3 a.m. I could kind of hear her voice. And I just felt the sun urge to go out in the backyard. I don't know why, but something is like telling me to go out there. So I got out of bed, went out in the backyard, and I just felt like I was being watched. So I look over towards the garden. I felt terrified because I was paralyzed with fear. I heard her scream, and she was standing right there, staring straight at me. I felt like she was definitely threatening me at that point. I didn't know what to do.
Max, what are you doing?
She's there! She wants to kill me!
Max told me there was a girl I don't see anybody out there. It kind of concerns you because you're wondering, is my kid actually seeing what he's seeing, or is there something, wrong with your child that they're seeing things that shouldn't be there?
You okay?
He wants to kill me.
Nobody wants to kill you, Max.
I couldn't understand why he couldn't see it too.
The little girl haunts Max day and night.
Things were really starting to escalate. I kept seeing her more and more.
It was just night after night after night. It was like every night I hear voices. I'm seeing something in my room. I hear scratching.
This continued presence around Max is really just likely a way for the spirit to be working out what's my next move.
I didn't think it was ever going to stop.
We had to do something.
Max's parents call a professional medium for help.
When I first came into the home, I remember noticing that the energy in the house was quite dark. It was really a heavy energy. There's definitely something pulling me out into the backyard. It was the spirit of a young child, actually, a young girl, and she was really distressed. The little girl, she was completely soaked. Everything was wet, her hair and her clothing. My impression was that this little girl had drowned. The energy with her almost kind of made you feel like she'd been murdered. She was looking for her family. She was trying to find her way home.
They all want the little girl to finally find peace.
Her family would be waiting for her on the other side. She needed to go.
You can do this, Angel. See? It's okay.
Lori needs Max to help the spirit girl cross over.
I know your story.
She was just scared. I was telling her that I know her story, it's okay for her to leave.
You can go now.
She can go move on to the next world and see her family instead of being stuck here.
It's done. She's good.
Thank you.
She wasn't there anymore, she was gone. Lori explained to me that the girl was hit over the head with a rock or a blunt object, which is the reason why she had the black hair covering her face, because she didn't want to scare me. She didn't want me to see the wounds on her face.
She was coming to Max, I believe, because she wanted to tell someone what had happened to her. I think she chose Max simply because Max was very open. Max was younger, so she would have felt it was somebody safe that she could come and talk to.
Lori told me that the shadows that I was seeing were from this girl, or maybe the energy that kind of manifested into these shadows. For me to find out the truth was pretty shocking. She was definitely not out to get me, and she didn't want to hurt me. She just wanted to talk to me. I was trying to ignore her and push her away, and all she wanted was help.
By Max telling the spirit to move on, it gave the spirit permission to do so. Max showed it that it wasn't a terrifying thing, and it allowed it to go to the light.
After the girl crossed over, I never saw her again. And the house is just much more positive and has a lot more light in it, and it just feels great.
I couldn't imagine going through what he had gone through. He felt so bad because, you're telling them when they're a child it's your imagination, it's not real, but what he was experiencing was totally real. He's a very, very, very strong person for being able to cope with that. He's just an amazing kid.
After going through all this, I would consider myself a survivor. No child should ever have to go through that alone. To be able to tell my story just feels amazing. Like, I hope it helps someone out there.
My name is Dan, and this is my story. My parents had aspirations of moving out of the city into the country.
My mom saw this house and it just was immediate, I want this house. The house had been left empty for a year.
We all loved it. I could play with my dad outside. It was a perfect place to grow up. Very nice family-oriented place.
Dan, he was the only little boy in the area, so he was alone a fair bit.
My bear was my best friend at the time. He was your typical teddy bear. He and I were inseparable.
Yes, his little brown teddy bear was quite well worn. It did get a lot of loving.
He was my go-to buddy if I wanted some comfort.
While Dan and his family embrace their new home in the country, they soon find something unsettling.
What sounded like a man with shoes or boots walking on the roof. It was a steady gait. There were often times in the home where all of us would hear footsteps.
Did you guys hear that?
The first time it happened,
What's going on?
I remember my dad running outside to see if there was someone up on the roof.
You guys, just stay here.
He came back and he said,
There's nothing there.
Nothing?
No.
He couldn't find anything, couldn't see anybody. The closest neighbor was probably 600, 700 yards away.
We might have made a joke about, oh, we got spooks running around, but we didn't take it seriously.
That turns out to be a mistake.
Many, many times, it was like an oven inside the home. My dad would go and check the thermostat in the hallway, and he would notice that it had been turned up to 70, 75, 80, and it was hot outside, so there's no reason for the heat to be on.
Okay, which one of you guys was playing with the thermostat?
My dad thought that me or my sister were messing around with the thermostat, but we weren't.
My dad got quite frustrated with it, so he put a screw in the wall so that the dial couldn't go past a certain point. And he figured he had fixed it. It still would get turned up.
Only weeks after moving in, it gets stranger still.
There was many times where I would be in the family room alone. I would always get the sensation of being watched. One night I was drawing. You could just feel a certain energy in the air. In my peripheral vision, I would see a silhouette or a quick movement. I would look, and it would disappear. And I would go back to whatever I was doing, and it would reappear again. I would look, and it would disappear. It made me uneasy, because I knew this shadow thing was standing there watching me.
Shadow figures are one of the more common entities that children are most likely to see. In Dan's case, the entity is wanting to get Dan's attention, and it seems like it wants to do that in a negative way.
First, footsteps, then glimpses of shadows. Soon, Dan's waking anxieties creep into his subconscious.
I started having terrible, terrible nightmares, like debilitating nightmares.
When he wakes, the nightmares just get worse.
It was just like boom, instant terror.
Mom, help, Mom!
I would wake up flailing my arms around and screaming bloody murder, and I'd be hyperventilating, screaming at the top of my lungs. It was terrifying.
Mom, there's a man in the corner!
He always looked miserable, and he always had this look of anger on his face.
I remember him shouting, "There's a man." It was upsetting.
What's wrong? In the corner!
My poor mom would come running down the hallway to see what the heck was wrong.
I'd hear him talking to my mom, trying to tell her he could see a man in his room or standing in the corner. It's scary to be woken up to hear your brother screaming in the room next door when you were sound asleep.
He was right there.
It would take quite a bit of effort to get him calmed down and sort of snap out of it.
But every time I had one of these nightmares, he was always present when I woke up. It really scared me. The terror that I felt is probably the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Dan's nightmares concern his mother. She can't figure out what's wrong until a chance encounter with a psychic.
My mom went to a psychic, not because of what was going on in the home, but just for fun.
She had taken pictures of my brother and I with her, and they were face down on the table.
He started to do his psychic reading, and he said, "Do you know you have a ghost in your house?" And my mom was kind of like, "There's been some odd things happening."
And my mom said, "But it doesn't bother anyone. It doesn't bother us." And the psychic said, "It doesn't bother you, maybe, but it bothers him." And flipped over my brother's picture.
He does not like your son.
The psychic confirms Dan's worst fear.
I was definitely being targeted by the spirit in the home. All of his anger and focus was on me. Now I'm scared.
Dan begins to understand why the spirit is drawn to him.
I'm Dan. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Dan.
We found out from the neighbors that the previous owner was an alcoholic. He used to abuse his son.
And you know he died in the house.
He had overdosed on pills and alcohol and committed suicide in the basement.
We also found out that Dan looked quite a lot like his son.
It's amazing how much he looks like the little boy, too.
We could have been brothers, according to the neighbor. It was eerie, the way I resembled him so much. We figured, well, maybe he thought I was his son, and he was taking his anger out, his rage out on me.
This is the tipping point for the family.
It was time to bring in some specialists, 2 psychic mediums that specialized in clearing homes.
I remember them coming in. There was a man and a lady. She was quite proper, very put together. They walked around a bit and got a feel, I guess, for what was going on.
The lady, she says, well, okay, I'm going to channel the spirit. The energy in the room was so heavy, and you could feel that oppressive weight. When she started to channel the spirit, she hunched right over, and her hands started to curl in, almost like she had terrible arthritis.
The psychic seems to be transforming into the previous owner of the home.
She became the spirit.
You're a talented, stupid boy.
She became a drunk.
Miserable boy.
She has become him.
The psychic medium was overpowered, and the entity actually took possession of her and started speaking through her.
To see this woman transform into this guy was incredible. I really felt this dark, oppressive energy. The other psychic medium, he could see the spirit. He wanted to get rid of this guy.
Go! To the light! The light is where you belong! Go!
He said, you need to go into the light. You need to move on. You need to stop harassing this boy. But that spirit didn't want to go.
Go!
He said, do you see that man at the end of the tunnel? He says, he's waiting for you, and he's there to take you, and he'll help you, and you'll feel much better if you go with him. And he went into the light. The atmosphere in the home immediately changed. And the lady, she came out of it, sat up straight and back to normal. It was quite something to watch, and it was unforgettable.
It was quite a thing to live through.
When they finally cleared the spirit from the home, I felt fantastic. The psychic medium told me that he had been the cause of these nightmares. He had been the cause of the footsteps on the roof. So having an outsider come in and validate all these things was a relief to hear.
After it was all done, Dan was definitely relieved. A weight was lifted off him.
We'd never had any more experiences in the home. I never had any more nightmares. After my experience, it certainly made me a confirmed believer in spirits, and it certainly made me, think about, life after death. These two mediums came in, and they basically put him at rest, put him at peace. I hope I never go through that again.
I'm Riley, and this is my story. When I was a kid, our home was very happy and a peaceful place. We'd have all the windows open, the sun shining in. It's a very happy place.
Riley, when he was a child, he was so well behaved. He always kept himself busy.
What? Those are for the cookies.
He was a part of everything that we did as a family.
Roll that.
He was always a very helpful child.
I was very shy, quiet. I didn't talk to many people, usually just my family.
I think after we take the cookies out and eat them.
My childhood was very quiet and peaceful.
The peace and quiet comes to an abrupt end when Riley turns 13.
One day, I was playing video games with my headset on, and I wasn't talking to anybody. I could hear something. I didn't know what it was.
He was hearing voices when he was playing his video games.
At first, Riley can't make out the words, but then they become disturbingly clear.
He was starting to hear voices telling him that we were bad people, that we were going to hurt him. Riley, beware of your family. The voices were telling him to hurt himself, his family, and to run away from home as well.
So it's just me, it's okay.
Riley has only one thing to turn to.
My teddy bear and me were inseparable because it made me feel safe.
Whenever he was stressed or scared, it's the first thing he would reach for. And if I saw him with it, I always knew something was going on.
Soon, Riley doesn't just hear things.
One night I was walking up towards the bathroom. I turned the corner and I saw something I'd never forget. I saw this figure. At first, I had no idea what I was looking at. I stood there and I stared at it for like a second to make sure, is it real or am I just tired? And it didn't go away. It was a lady standing tall, wearing white. There was a darkness in the eyes. It was something very sinister. My gut feeling was it was a spirit. When I saw the spirit, I felt scared, I felt alone. I didn't know what to really do. I was terrified.
This is the first of many nights where the woman in white taunts Riley.
Every night, I could see it out of the corner of my eye, standing there watching me, just staring. And I didn't want to find out what happens if I go closer to it or touch it or try to go near it, because I'd be afraid something would happen. I still don't know what she was. Things progressively got worse in our house.
Riley really withdrew from everything.
I didn't really associate with anybody in the family, just kept really to myself.
He just wouldn't talk to us.
When I was that age, having these experiences constantly, it started to worry me. I was frightened. Eventually, it wasn't just me being affected by these spirits.
One night when I was alone, the energy in the house was heavy. Something was going to happen.
Leslie's instincts are right.
I saw this massive black shadow trying to make me scared. I didn't understand what was happening. These shadows, these big, dark shadows were just horrible. 6 months this went on.
My mom would refer to the shadows as nasties.
Nasties are bad, and nasties are the most terrible ones. They would stand in the doorway and try to intimidate me and make me run out of my own house.
Even though the negativity was in the whole house, it did feel like I was specifically being targeted.
Leslie has her own theory as to why the spirits are attracted to her home.
Spirits were attached to Riley. He was bringing them home from other places, and they would torment him. And Riley would want to be left alone. and it was really hard.
In the case of Riley, he was perceptive to these things. Unfortunately, he didn't quite have the skills to learn how to control that and kind of turn it off when he needed to. And as a result of that, he ended up with a house full of spirits.
We had many spirits in the house. It was almost like Grand Central Station.
There'd be so many of them that it'd just get really heavy, and a lot of them were nasty and be negative. I was at a breaking point.
He just didn't want to do anything together. It just broke my heart, not having my little boy.
Something had to be done before something catastrophic happened.
Yes, we need you to come right away.
Things got so bad, my mom decided to call a paranormal team to come help us. When the investigator came in, I thought the investigator would be able to clear everything out and clean it and make the house happy again.
It's okay.
Me and my mom waited in the basement. All we could hear is them asking questions.
Who is this and why are you bothering this family?
Then the investigator started to kind of egg on the spirit, demanding something happened.
If you're here, let me know.
After that, the energy actually in the basement totally changed. It completely flipped.
But not for the better.
I'm scared. It's okay. It's okay.
It started to get really heavy, and you can feel more things watching you and hear more footsteps walking by. Just got really scared, and you can feel nervous and paranoid.
I was absolutely terrified when this first started happening. I actually started to break down a little bit.
Something down there makes itself known in the most frightening way.
Oh my God! Are you okay?
And then I got scratched on the back.
There were 3 scratch marks across her back. That just kind of looked like someone came up and just scratched her with their nails. I started to have a meltdown.
I was absolutely terrified for my family.
Listen, you're going to go across the street.
Leslie rushes Riley to the neighbors for the night.
As soon as I left the house, it felt like bricks were being taken off my chest and my shoulder, and I didn't feel the weight of all the spirits on my back.
But it's a different story inside the family's home.
The paranormal investigator was not able to remove the spirits, and the moment he left the house, all hell broke loose. The house completely was a mad house. The spirits were shaking doorways. They were moving things across the house. It was scary knowing something was going to come after you and hurt you. There was nothing we could do to stop it. It was one of the most terrifying nights that we had in the house. It was awful.
I need you to stop! Leave my family alone!
That's when I decided that I was going to step up and I was going to fix the situation.
My mom took it upon herself to research all the ways she can cleanse the house and fix the problem.
I did lots of research and decided that I was going to start removing the spirits. It's not something that I ever thought that I would face. There's no way I'd be able to do it myself. I needed help.
That's when Leslie finds out about an unexpected ally, someone Riley dubs Mr. Edwards.
Riley came to me and he told me about Mr. Edwards.
The first time I saw Mr. Edwards, he didn't present himself to be a mean shadow or a mean spirit. He was just a tall man in like a dark suit with a bowler hat. I'd see him constantly around the house.
Hey, Mom?
I realized that he was attached to me. He is a different spirit than the other ones. The energy that comes from Mr. Edwards is positive.
Riley was very fortunate to have a spirit protector. It's a spirit that has taken a sincere interest in liking in your life and wants to protect you from as much as it can.
With Mr. Edwards' presence around, things started to get better.
The friendly spirit works to clear the house of negative ones.
A guardian spirit will step in on your behalf against, other entities from the spirit world.
Mr. Edwards acted like a bouncer, kicking out the spirits and not letting them back in, as he was really keen on getting out the nasties.
Mr. Edwards became kind of a permanent resident, and he really did help bring all those negative spirits down. He always keeps us safe.
Finally, Riley and his family get back to day-to-day life.
When the spirits were gone, Riley and I were able to connect again. It was wonderful having my boy back.
Through this whole experience with the paranormal, I have really reconnected with my mom. We can talk about anything now.
It was just a wonderful feeling, being able to walk into our home and feel the love, feel the warmth, the way it should be.
I would thank him for everything he did for the family. He really helped make everything better in the long run, and he still continues to make things better as he is still in the house, making sure no one comes back in.
To this day, Mr. Edwards still watches over the house and Riley.
He came when Riley needed him the most.